Hello there, Sunshine fans, bingo enthusiasts. Welcome to this Friday of Super Mario Sunshine Lockout Bingo League action and this match between gamestabled and Alaeus. My name is Lego, and I'm joined here in the commentary booth with the illustrious Golden Devil. And Golden Devil, we're seeing two folks come back to the league that sort of missed out last season, and they're back again. This is going to be an exciting match for this Friday.
Well, I actually think gamestabled was in last season.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Yeah, Alaeus took season 3 off. So, yeah, exciting to see them back. And then gamestable as well. Seafood. It looks like the card's already revealed to the stream. So we probably are going to have to do a new card. Yeah, and you should hide the card until we get everyone ready. Sorry about that. Yeah, so this is a draft lockout match.
Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. I'm stoked to see Alaeus back in the league. I'm stoked to see Game still playing in the league. Both of them sort of remind me of each other in terms of in terms of sort of where they sit in terms of the bingo stack rank right now. Both of them sort of in that sort of middle speed, but sort of big brain is the way I would categorize both of them. And draft is one of those formats where you can really utilize your foresight and your analysis of the card to craft routes that can give you massive advantages over your opponent. So I think this game is going to be really heated during the draft phase, and we'll see how they develop their game plans out of there. I don't know. Do you have the same sort of sense as I do?
Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be interesting to see because draft is always one where the slower player can really do something cool to kind of make up for that speed advantage. And I don't know how much Sunshine either of them have been playing. But it looks like they're both ready, so we can. We got a coin flip.
Oh man, I was about to pull out my commemorative Super Mario Odyssey coin for the
Do you want to
globe
flip it?
coin flip.
We can ask them if they want cat or globe.
Let's go ahead and ask.
I mean, I think the cap is probably heads in that case.
Probably. Game's looking for the globe here. It is globe. Game will be going first.
I think Game changed their mind, actually, to cap, so...
They said no cap.
Okay. I think they both said they're ready. So.
All right, and so the draft is underway. gamestabled has the first pick, drafting in pink. Alaeus will be in green.
Yeah, let's see what's on the card. I immediately see Bianco 4 hoverless, 20 Bianco blue, 15 Bianco blues. So Bianco start looking pretty good. Alaeus famously a hater of the Bianco start.
Yeah, not super advantageous for him with this most recent patch. 3.2, definitely buffing Bianco quite a bit. What I see is I agree, there's like a fair amount of Bianco synergy here. There's also 17Ms, which is like a perennial draft favorite. Sort of, typically a goal that you would want to have sort of on a generic draft card. But we see Bianco 4 hoverless drafted away here by Game. Just sort of putting an initial stake down in Bianco. But this does, of course, give Alaeus the opportunity to respond with 2 picks and could snatch away some of that Bianco value as well. 15 and 20, both on the card. That's a little excessive, in my opinion.
Yeah. The other kind of fast goals I see that are good, draft goals potentially, 5 bluebirds, the the Armado special. There's 4 Pianta Shines. I guess also a Armado special. 50 from 2 or 150 Delfino is a pretty good early game goal. 17 M's.
Yeah, and I'm wondering with like 100 coins and a secret on the card, like is there a worthwhile way to combo that with 50 from 2, or would you just see 150 from Delfino? But here comes Alaeus' response. 15 Bianco Blue is a pretty safe bet here. 2 Gelato Hidden Shines. Also, I think a pretty good pickup on this card. Looking at some of the stuff that's floating around here, we see 5 Hidden Shines, so incremental progression there. Though not a ton else in Gelato on this card, at least from what I can see.
Yeah, that's really the main Gelato value. I mean, if you're doing 7 links or bluebirds, you're gonna have to go into Gelato, but those aren't necessarily Gelato goals. So
yeah, and you have to stick around through Gelato 1, which is fast, and Gelato 1 hidden. There's not any other reds on the card. There's not any secrets on the card. Level shines wise, like 8 from 1 seems to be the only option here. But Game's going to respond with the 4 Pianta Shines and 5 Bluebirds. Nice, safe bet. I like that in response to the 2 Gelato Hiddens. You get your 5 Bluebirds, you're able to pop in, grab a fast Hidden Shine in Gelato Sand, and then head over to Pianta and sort of, play a little bit of... I almost want to say a little bit any percent-ish start is a possibility from Game here.
Yeah, and the 9 Pipe Shines is a good counter to Pianta. I don't know how I feel about 6 Rico Shines. Maybe, like, it's fast, but I guess the value with Rico is, it's potentially a counter to doing NPCs in Pianta. It might scare Game away from a deeper Pianta than Pianta 4, because this is a card I feel like where JJ would do a full Pianta IW to start with 4 Pianta Shines, 9 Pipes, NPC Blues, 3 Rockets. It's a card where Pianta could work.
I almost prefer Pianta here, and to Alaeus' point, it feels like 6 Rico is a bit of a bait from him, or from them rather. Alaeus, I think, has drafted 6 Rico, and is pretty well known for liking to sort of do bait picks in the draft. And 17 M's going this late is sort of a nice pickup to sort of cap that off. Maybe we do see Alaeus dip into Rico. I don't know if 6 from Rico is worth the commit, unless you're going to try to get 8 from 1. But I sort of agree with you that this sort of deep Pianta can play off pretty well, especially for Game. The card is sort of set up, and the picks are in such a way. We can see 5 Bluebirds very plausibly done without Pinna. Because looking at Pinna, what does it offer you, really, by way of needing to commit to it? Well, there's Ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds. There's Pinify from the back, hoverless. Is there much else value in Pinna that is worth rushing towards? Or is it fine to commit for sort of a deep Pianta play?
The only early... 7 Links is is going to require Pinna, I think. If I'm...
Yeah, right, I guess
7
early
Links
access
is going to require Pinna, but other than that, all the Pinna value comes late. You've got to do Pinna 4 for Yoshi, Pinna 5. You've got to do Pinna 4 for Delfino Rocket, which is, latest of late game goals. Like, Pinna's not that great. The other thing here is Noki's okay, but it's not like... I think the biggest value to Noki here potentially is a 3rd Rocket.
Both Goldbirds as well, sort of is the reward there. You could be, 3 rockets again, kind of cheeky. Some fast blues if you're pushing for that last little bit towards 80 totals. There's also Delfino Rocket, which is sort of just sitting on this card. I feel like whoever's first to Noki is probably going to get 5 hiddens on this card. I think that's just going to be. There's not. It's hard to craft a path to 5 hiddens that doesn't sort of cap it off on both Goldberg shines. It's sort of hard to chart a path that way. And speaking of charting a path that way, there's like no.
If you press the R button all the way down, you can stop and shoot. You can then use the control stick to aim in any direction. Press the X button
Sure.
to switch to the hover
I guess
mode.
we'll be back, folks, in just a moment
Press the R
with
button
more Super Mario Sunshine Bingo action.
for a short time.
Don't match up, but
Instructions complete. Proceed.
all right. So yeah, now we've just got another 4 minutes of cutscenes and such.
Yeah, I'm thinking a lot. So what I was gonna say before the break here was thinking about like Serena has no value on this card, so I don't see other than 9 pipes, right? Like 9 pipes is this bit of this wild card. The thing, I don't think Alaeus is gonna get 9 pipes and 6 Rico. I don't think that that's gonna happen. So either Alaeus is gonna try to contest Pianta, or Alaeus is gonna give up that goal. Which it feels. So what do you deny if you're Alaeus? If she goes for 9 pipes over 6 from Rico, what is Alaeus going to be able to take away from Game's gameplay?
Glad to meet you.
I mean, my question is, I don't know who's faster, but the risk if you go deep Pianta as Alaeus and you lose it is that's a lot for 1 goal, right? Like you're not going to get 4 Pianta shines if you lose NPC blue. I mean, it's.
You could be denying NPC blues with Rico 8 as part of 8 from 1. Like that's a possibility.
Yeah,
That
are you going to be able to do Rico 1 through 8 faster than Pianta 1 through 6, even stopping for the fire Pianta?
Yeah, and you have to get to Rico too, right? So you have to you have to get at least 2 shines in advance of that. So you're kind of stuck. It's sort of a tough gamble, right? The gamble is essentially that Game's got other stuff that Game wants to do, mainly Bianco 4 hoverless, that Game's going to prioritize that first over Game for that to work.
This appears to be quite a predicament.
Yeah,
Mario.
I don't know that it's.
Verifies that the island's inhabitants are indeed troubled by pollution, but the
I don't
pollution itself
right
is
call.
not the main problem.
It'll be.
Witness this object at the
It's.
correct. It is a shine sprite.
Yeah.
Shine sprites are the source of
Like,
power on
I think
the
if your game
They use
starting
the
Pianta is a really
vendors
good
at
play
the
here.
Shine Gate, but the
Because
incident has polluted the island and most of
the
shine
worst case
sprites.
scenario
There is
if
no
you lose
longer anyone
Pianta
to support the peaceful lifestyle
is
of
you
the
lose 9
islanders,
pipes.
who is most pitiable. The only way to
But you can
ensure
still get
the
5
safety
birds with
of the
Pianta
shine
8.
sprites is to
Lynx,
keep
you're
the
probably
island
still in
from
decent shape
becoming
for.
any dirtier. The perpetrator
So-
is likely at work even as we speak. And you, Mario, are being treated as a criminal.
It's
Tomorrow we must do our best to
I'm much more
resolve
curious
the
to see where
situation.
Alaeus goes from here. Because Alaeus has things in Bianco, Rico, Gelato, and whatever Alaeus clicks is going to give a lot of information away. Obviously, 4 Pianta shines is going to give away information, but I will say, like, Game's goals are less likely to give away info than Alaeus is. Because 5 birds and 7 links, I mean, 7 links means you got to Pinna.
And game is starting off heading towards Pianta. So that seems to be the starting play here. We'll see what Alaeus does. That's what I'm most curious about, what she's going to do, because that, whatever she chooses, and it looks like it's going to be at least unlocking Bianco first. So I think that's the game plan. Is going to be that Bianco start, at least getting the plant. Maybe in the underbell, maybe trying to rush Rico, but like we were talking about, that may be too slow.
Thing we didn't really talk about on this card at all, and that's blues, which maybe just says a lot about how there's not a lot of value in them.
If you would, thinking about that, like if you had told me that this card was generated on like patch 3.0, I would have believed you. This feels like a 3.0 or a 3.1 card with just how strong Pianta and Pinna are, with that sort of Bianco spice, which I think makes it a little more interesting than it might typically be. But we're basically seeing both competitors rushing towards the two fastest level shine levels in the game here.
And for anyone who's concerned about the timer, it's roughly 7 minutes. The bingo stick timer is roughly 7 minutes ahead. So, yeah, I mean, we see, this is the thing, Pianta are fast shines, and once you take the lead in Pianta, it's like, unless game leaves, there's no way Alaeus is going to get the value.
Yeah, but this gives, so depending on at what point Alaeus will be at when she sees that 4 from Pianta clicked off from game, that could give Alaeus some information in terms of what she may want to do next. I think that will be the inflection point for Alaeus's game plan, because right now game's got that laser focus on Pianta, on those fast level shines, on that 4 from Pianta and beyond. So we'll have to see what happens there. But Alaeus is in. She's heading towards Petey.
Alaeus's favorite start, Bianco.
Uh-oh.
No,
well, that will change things up here.
Oh.
That is that definitely mixes things up here from game.
Yeah, falling off the tree. That's a rough one.
That's the first one of the season, I think, and this early too. A death to Il Piantissimo is going to set game back pretty significantly, but this will, it's not all bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad, but it's not all bad for game. Can grab a few more blues on the way over. But this sort of helps to make up for Alaeus's sort of rough early game start. Feels like Alaeus has just been struggling a little bit in the early game here, probably shaking off the rust, which should enable shouldn't make it too punishing for game, but still that's a lead that you would have preferred to keep.
I mean, it's I think it was Jeff Compass who famously has said, you're not a real bingo player until you died to Piantissimo. So it happens to the best of us. Not that I am the best of us, but there are some things on this card, just looking at it again, that just don't really synergize super well. The blue totals, other than 13 Delfinos, like, there's not much of a reason to prioritize blue.
I mean, so what my hunch is game probably wants to deny 50 totals. I think if you're game, you want to deny that 50 totals goal from Alaeus, because Alaeus is very clearly trying to set up for getting all of the blues goals, right? And you're fine if Alaeus commits all the way to 80 totals. And, 13 from Delfino is still competitive with 50 totals, right? 8 from Delfino is very fast, and 50 totals gets you over the finish line. So if I'm game, I'm thinking 50 totals is what I want to take away, and let Alaeus have to commit for all those additional blue coins to get to 80.
It was a little rough for Game, but Game makes it. I wonder if we'll see the Fire Pianta here. Because that would be a good hint towards NPCs, but we're not seeing it.
At least not yet. Could be spawning behind here. Also, remember, it's a little bit out of the way. There's gonna be NPCs in Plaza and elsewhere if you're interested in that. Meanwhile, Alaeus mopping up some blues here in Bianco.
Yeah, this could just be getting 15 and holding 20 hostage, which is not a bad call.
I mean, on this card, Game really doesn't have a reason to go into Bianco at all, other than for Bianco 4 hoverless, right? And that is sort of is the question mark right now. Is at what point does Game even go for it in the draft period, right? Is that just a goal to deny Alaeus that opportunity here, or to sort of force out of Alaeus a commit towards doing it, or does Game intend to sneak into Bianco in time to get that done? To keep everyone on the stream updated, we're about 13 minutes into the match, so another 26 and a half left on the draft protection period.
16 and a half.
16 and a half? I can't do math.
It's okay.
It's too early in the day, which is to say it's mid-afternoon.
It's Friday. That's what you should blame it on.
Exactly.
So there's 4 Pianta Shines. Immediately, we see gamestabled click it off, because no
delays for drafted gold.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Alaeus has got to be within spitting distance, 3 or 4 away from 15 from Bianco. But Alaeus now has perfect information, essentially.
Yeah.
And she knows that was the immediate commit from Game, was to go for 4 and Pianta. So I don't think that changes Alaeus' immediate next 5 to 10 minutes, but I think that does maybe shift the balance against going for 9 pipes. If you saw like a Bianco 4 hoverless first, then maybe you would be okay with that, or maybe you would think about it, but
yeah, and this is 15 Bianco blues for Alaeus. You know, getting 5 extra blues in Bianco 4 takes a lot of time. Also, Alaeus should absolutely do Bianco 4 hoverless, because if Game does not do it, it's a free blue. You know, in the same way that Game potentially, well, Game probably won't get all 9 pipes this early, but we'll have the ability.
I wonder if we'll see like Lily Pad out of Game, or like try to transition into setting up for Delfinos, or what we'll do to finish out sort of 9 pipes. And that's a bit of a rough death there. Death number 2 for Game here in Pianta.
Ooh.
Sort of had the wrong angle there on that 3rd Pianta throw.
Pianta 5 not the easiest shine in the world. So yeah, Alaeus. Maybe this is going to be a travel skip. Maybe it's going to be heading into
another
Rico.
death from Game. That's
I don't know how much
unfortunate
SMS Game has played recently. I also don't know how much Alaeus has played.
From my understanding is it wasn't a whole lot from either of them, so they're both coming in kind of rusty. We saw that with Alaeus' early game. We saw that a bit here with Game's sort of Pianta 5. So it's not off to the steadiest start from both of them. Alaeus appears to be setting up to enter Rico. Game has given up on platform skipping.
After dying a couple times, that's probably the right call.
And Alaeus getting that Rico start. So M's, definitely you need to enter Rico for. Rico shines as well. There's some fast
Alaeus,
shines in there as well, getting you towards.
Alaeus got the 4Ms in Bianco.
I would hope so.
I think that's the 15M. So I didn't see if Alaeus got any of the. Well, Alaeus got the one Delfino at least in the Rico unlock. So it's still gonna have to enter some other world to finish 17, but
yeah, and it's gonna not be Gelato unless they go all the way here in. Well, no, if they go all the way if they go all the way in Rico, get all 9, then the 3 in Plaza and the 4 in Bianco, that would get them to 17 with the Gelato M. That could be the thought process here.
I assume we're going to see Game get the blues here.
You would not commit to Pianta without getting the blues here.
Yeah, you can't do Pianta 6 without getting the NPC blue. But maybe holding that 9th NPC hostage for a little bit.
Are you gonna be able to extract information or protect information with that though? Your opponent has to at least presume that you've been in Pianta, and if you're committing for 4 from Pianta, you might as well go to 5 and then 6.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect Alaeus is gonna know, and Game might be waiting to see a 6 Rico Shines clip before going for the Fire Pianta and Plaza. Seems like a plausible option. That is a fast NPC, and Alaeus can't delay.
Is this going to be enough time for Game here to get all of these? And Game's remembering that you can't get... Yeah, that's not... First of all, there's not any blue on that nose. And second, that is half of the link not done. We'll have to clean that up later.
Yeah. Is definitely going to want to, but if Game goes into Pianta 8, which, it's a hidden, it's a rocket, like, there's reason for Game to go into Pianta 8 and get the hidden there. And you can get that link pretty easily. Alaeus not getting the 2 far out ends. So only up
to... Puts her at 7 then. At least,
so it's
if
11,
they got all of them.
11 total. Alaeus doing Pinna 2 blooper fall. You love to see it. Although it was blooperless entry with her in secret.
Yeah, I had a bit of trouble there. I think they're both still shaking off the rust, but
yeah,
especially with that pretty stellar Pianta 6 out of game. Got half the linked and 8 NPCs, and that shine. 6th pipe as well.
Yeah, and Game still is going to have enough time to go back and do Bianco 4 hoverless if he wants it. Yeah, we're seeing Alaeus only doing 2 shines in Rico, heading to Gelato.
Yeah, Alaeus is set up for a lot of her goals, but I don't know to what extent she's going to close them out. And that's going to be sort of the big question here. We're in the last 10 minutes, or rather 8.5 minutes of the draft protection period. So there's still a fair amount of time, but the window of opportunity to sort of close out on a number of these goals is diminishing pretty rapidly.
Yeah, I think it's going to be hard to do both 6 Rico Shines and 2 Gelato Hiddens.
I think you go for 2 Gelato Hiddens. I think that's the right commit. It's 17 M's. I think you've pretty much got on lock. I don't think you end up needing to protect 6 Rico Shines. It's sort of hard to justify. The game is back into 5. Probably to get what? Probably to get some more blues that are only available in night levels, such as the M.
And 50 yellow.
Getting 50
yellow.
Yellow.
This is 100. 100 in a secret.
Ooh. Now that's an idea. We haven't talked too much about that particular goal. My feeling was maybe this would have happened in Bianco for Alaeus, as Alaeus bites the dust in Gelato 1. Gets right back at it.
I would have guessed this would be either Gelato 1, Bianco 3, Rico 4, but Pianta 5, it's a fast.
Pianta 5's fast. All things considered, and it does make sense. The one thing about it that I'm not the hugest fan of is with 5 Hiddens on the card, you kinda, I don't know. I guess you still are fast with Pianta 8. You can always just sort of dip back in. It's not the hugest loss as far as your potential coinage goes.
I kind of also wonder, could we see Game do a life grind here in Pianta 5?
That is also a possibility.
A little under 6 minutes left in the draft period. It's maybe not the best use of time, but
I don't think it's the best use of time. No, I agree. It's not the best use of time, and the thing that would counter it that's just not happening necessarily is, I suppose you could say, like, 5 Bluebirds is at risk, right? Like, because Alaeus is going to be in Gelato here and will have enough access. So, I don't know. It feels a little, life grinding is a little premature here, but you're in Pianta 5. That is the best level to do it in. It is relatively fast. I can see the appeal.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Game is going to be able to get 5 if Alaeus decides to go for it.
But Alaeus is not.
Alaeus, yeah. That scared me for a hot second.
Grabs one more coin and the second life here. Now just needs to get into the mushroom.
Yeah. Yoshi skip with 99 coins is scary. We've seen.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of those nerves too. Gets in, clean entry. Just needs to not die now.
I think we're gonna see
Game realizing that does not need to step on the, does not need to ground pound the button real fast, but does need the extra height it provides. Grabs that coin, spawns the shine. Meanwhile, Alaeus getting started on that Gelato 1.
Oh.
And our death there. Oof. Rough one.
Now we are seeing a fair number of deaths this match.
1 life on the counter, which means 2 more attempts for Alaeus. Should be able to secure this.
Yeah, I assume Alaeus started with the memory card and can save. And we are seeing a life grind here.
All right.
I don't know if I feel like this is a good call, but Alaeus down to the last life. I really hope there's a memory card. but I don't know if there
We
is.
don't see the save.
I am really nervous for Alaeus right now.
Keeping our eyes on this as the life grind goes on for games. Second goal.
And we've got
For Reds and for
under,
Alaeus.
just under 3 minutes left in the draft period. So, yeah, we see game click 18 lives, but not 100 in a secret.
Not 100 in a secret, not 8 from 1.
Well, that's not 8. That's only...
That's 8. From,
Did game
from
do Shadow
Pianta?
Mario?
Yeah. Didn't he?
Okay.
I could have sworn he did.
I'm not totally sure, but I might have missed it. Hopefully we've got Falcon hit here.
Yeah, no, he 100% killed. He 100% killed Shadow Mario. He had the move. It was on sort of the far end there,
Okay.
far away. But that is 18 lives clips, so that is an 8 from 1 delay. 8 NPCs in Alaeus' cap. Misses the jail blue. Little unfortunate.
Yeah.
Unless he just
get the
barely
M
grazed it,
Gelato?
but I don't think he ended up getting it. And Alaeus is going to trade for Pinna.
Yeah.
At 27, a bit of an awkward number there.
Yeah, I think like we talked about, not a ton of like early Pinna value other than birds and links, but Alaeus isn't set up to win either of them. Alaeus will be
Yeah,
able
I don't
to
even think
finish off
Alaeus has been laser focused on M's here, to the detriment of stuff like links.
Yeah, and I mean, to be fair, game hasn't gotten any birds, any link. Well, second link now for...
Yeah.
But yeah, like, Alaeus probably should have gotten the Delfino link.
Yeah, it feels like Alaeus, she gave a lot of deference to Game's draft in a way that I think she didn't need to. Now, that being said, she is a lot better set up for some of Game's goals, but I think it's hard to diagnose whether or not those are being sort of purposefully delayed. Like as we get past and the last 15 seconds run out on the draft protection period here, I think Alaeus is going to get the sense of just of what Game's plan has been, because Game has sort of masked everything that sort of happened past 18 lives. Like, you could read 18 lives as being like, I did Pianta 5 and then exit, right? Or Pianta 5 hidden and then exit. Now, I think you have to sort of read into that and as it being 100 coin shine. But it's going to be pretty dependent on how Alaeus reacts to this. And it looks like Alaeus is going to finish on 17 M's here in Pinna.
Yeah. Is at least getting these Pinna birds now.
Looks to be.
Did Alaeus get the first one in the park?
I would hope so. That is one of the easier birds to get. If
Yeah,
not the
I'm
easiest.
just realizing though I don't know if Alaeus did. Struggling with the second bird, which is the known troll bird.
And there's 17 M's. My hunch is Alaeus just saw that Game had not clicked off 5 bluebirds and was like, oh, I have better access then, I guess. So I should start going for birds now. So we'll see if Alaeus reacts and like she exits out of continuing in Pinna and like heads back to Gelato and picks up the 2 Delfino birds on the way. And like that'd be a pretty decent play. But turns out Alaeus did not get the opening Pinna bird. So
I think
Little bird
Alaeus
short.
may be better served getting the links and the birds and exiting area from Pinna here.
But Alaeus also didn't get any of the links.
No.
Not in Pinna. So maybe Alaeus will clean that up. Maybe she'll clean it up after Mecha.
Yeah, I mean, it's... Alaeus could win 7 links and 5 birds if she prioritizes it. The question is she going to? And that's why I think, like, getting the birds and the links and piecing out could have stolen both goals that, like, game just hasn't cared about at all.
But Alaeus is not sticking around. Seems to be committing to Pinna here.
This is curious. Like, game can't get birds or links until he enters Pinna, so game doesn't have a huge reason to commit, knowing with the Pianta start you're probably behind, especially with the 100.
What I would like out of game, I think game you enter here, you get links and fast blues. I think you push for 50 totals and you try to get 5 bluebirds. You head back to Pianta. Ooh, but this might be just 50. This might be just 50 coins here, real fast. The first 50 in Bianco 3 isn't the slowest in the world, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would have been nice if game had gone into Pianta 8, gotten the rocket and the hidden, and
well, that's what I'm saying is should go to Gelato after this, right? Because both plants are now available for him, right? Like needed the reload plaza, but both plants are now in the plaza for game. So game can go to Gelato, get the Gelato birds, can get both of the Delfino birds, and then go to Pianta 8 and finish 9 pipes and get the 5th bluebird. And I think that's a pretty good, as the kids say, coup de grace. As I think that sets you up pretty significantly well for what lies ahead. And there's 50 from 2 clicked, as just 150 from Delfino. Is game trying to feign a ton of Delfino progress?
No. It's an interesting one. I think Hundreds in a Secret is a fine delay because it's a slow goal. Especially because Alaeus doesn't have Pianta progress, as far as you know. But, yeah, not too much of a delay.
And it clicks away 100 coin in a secret anyway.
Yeah. I see chat is full of gamestabled loyal fans.
I think you probably could have gotten away with a longer delay there, but I don't know.
Alaeus, I think, tried for the bird and missed it.
Yeah, got it this time here in Pinna 3. Meanwhile, game is entering again for Bianco 4 hoverless. The window of opportunity right now. Now Alaeus is going for lanes.
Yeah, and at this point with Bianco 4 hoverless still on the board, it's a really good call for game to just get it, because
yeah, especially with
Alaeus
15 from Bianco shown, like you know that Alaeus could get this at any time theoretically. What I would like to see, okay, so I think for game, links are sort of out of the picture now. I don't think it makes sense for game to commit to links. Birds, however, is definitely something game wants to pick up, and if game can help it, he should try to grab 50 totals.
We're 30 minutes in, and nobody has birds, and Ramato is in the chat crying. I assume, if Ramato's watching.
Alaeus is at 36, 37 after this linked pair, 39 I think after finishing out the rest of the linked pairs still still available because you still got the second half of the triangle and the second half of the X's. The game's going back in to Bianco for the last NPC, I guess?
Oh, that could be maybe NPC plus grab the rocket.
NPC and rocket, yeah.
Is the rocket in Bianco 5?
Yes, the rocket is in all after 4.
Okay. Yeah, and we'll see if this is delay.
Almost would have preferred it done in 4 because it is hoverless and not floodless. So, in theory, could have gone and grabbed the rocket in 4 and done 4 hoverless, and I think that puts you in a slightly more advantageous position to grab an NPC along the way. So it would have prevented this re-entry. I don't know. The scientists will have to figure out what the timing looks like there. But that will be 9 NPC or Rico 8 clicked away. Yeah, I think game is now trying to just feign being slower in Pianta. And is now heading back to Pianta, I presume, for the hidden and the bird and the rocket.
That's gotta be it. Interestingly, I think the first hidden that anyone has this match.
Yeah, well, no, because... Yeah, actually, wait, yeah, you're right. I don't think any of them have done a hidden yet. Alaeus got the 2 hiddens.
Yeah.
We're being simpletons.
It's Friday night. It's the end of a long work week.
That is true. But no, this is draft. I think the score is set incorrectly to row control. I was wondering why the count wasn't updating as we might expect it, but game is sitting on 5 goals. Alaeus on 3.
This is
second rocket for game. This will be the 9th pipe. Game is sitting on 8 from 1 as a delay.
Game skipped the bird. I'm very confused by that.
Yeah, I'm wondering about these birds. I'm thinking about those birds. Alaeus is thinking about those birds. 3rd bird for Alaeus.
Only took 39 minutes. Yeah, game clicks, double clicks, 9 pipes, and 8 from 1. Either of those would have been a giveaway, so no reason to delay one for the other.
4th bird for Alaeus. So Alaeus has the whatchamacallits, links unlocked at this point. Has the 3, 4, 5. Needs 2 more though. He's not finishing out the half here. Remembers? She's heading back for it.
There we go.
Alaeus did get the second pin a bird in pin a 3. And game is going for Delfinos.
Yeah, this is the
first Delfino, I think, for between all of them. So.
Yeah.
And Alaeus is heading back to Gelato to grab birds and probably the linked pair, if I had to guess.
I would hope so at this point.
Yeah, Alaeus is burning a fair amount of time going back to levels to clean up sort of the skipping over of linked pairs and bluebirds that she did this sort of first go around. This will also inch Alaeus closer to 50 totals.
Yeah, this is probably no surprise given the score, but I like Game's position here.
Game's in a decent position, but I think it's kind of tenuous. Because if we look at sort of the goals that Alaeus has been working towards, that she's sort of made progress at least. 5 bluebirds, 7 linked, 50 totals. She's ahead to ride Yoshi in 2 worlds. She's ahead to pin a 5 from the back coverless. She's ahead to 6 ricochets. She's ahead to 80 totals by that nature. And 13 from Delfino is still very much within her grasp. I think Alaeus game is not in the free and clear, I think is the thing I want to stress here. And Alaeus, I think despite the score, game's win path is narrowing. Game sort of need a tougher to get goal. Game probably, and there's 50 totals. There's 5 bluebirds. Licked away. Game needs to deny a fair bit from Alaeus right now.
Yeah, I think Game is rushing Delfinos to win Tanoki and also have a lead on 13 Delfinos.
I think so too. So let's think about how Game is gonna have to close out this game. 3 rockets, Game has access, right? That is essentially Game's goal. 4 Noki, that I think it needs to be part of Game's win plan. Both Goldbirds has to be part of Game's win plan. 13 from Delfino at this point has to be part of Game's win plan. What's the last goal? 5 hiddens? I think it has to be 5 hiddens. I don't think there's anything else that Game can rationally make a play for left on this card.
Yeah, the problem though is, I mean, Alaeus, I feel like has better hiddens access to 5 at this point.
Yeah, that's the trouble. Is Alaeus has better hiddens access by a fairly significant margin because of Alaeus' progress towards spread levels. Now, that also being said, Game's not that far behind as far as hiddens access go. Game still has the Gelato hiddens. Game still has Bianco 3 hidden. Game has Pianta 5 hidden.
And Goldbird is going to be...
Goldbird, which is part of his win con. So... And the downside to Alaeus' position, while Game has a very narrow win con, Alaeus is also fairly narrow. It's not as narrow, though. And it's not as narrow because both Goldbirds and 4 Nokis are still pretty contestable for Alaeus. Their progress is fairly even. It's not super even, but Alaeus has got some fast shines remaining. It's done a lot of slow shines to start. So she can definitely make a strong play for both Goldbirds or 4 from Noki, and can try to mind game and pick which one she wants to go for.
We see slight delay to 7 links.
I think it's more just waiting for a save box or an opportunity to click it here. First rocket for Alaeus as well.
Yeah, I mean, this is... So if Game wins Tanoki, Game's going to have Goldbird, going to have 3 rockets. We'll have a lead to 4 Noki shines, but that's, I mean, 4 Noki shines is slow goal. I didn't see how many shines Alaeus has.
Alaeus has, I believe, 14 shines with 30 blues.
So Game is still in the
Game is
lead.
ahead by a single shine.
Yeah. Yeah, and Alaeus is grinding for 6 Rico at this point.
So this is a play from Game here to move for Pinna and to take back the advantage that Alaeus has set for herself, while Alaeus is stuck doing 6 from Rico. I like this because this gives Game more options, assuming that this succeeds, which it is looking like it will, assuming Alaeus doesn't leave Rico immediately, which is also a possibility. You're essentially trading away 5 hiddens with this play, but you're gaining access to 3 more goals, right? Ride Yoshi in 2 worlds, Delfino, Rocket, Pinna 5 from the back covers. which I think is a very good trade for Game at this juncture.
Oh, absolutely, because Game.
And these are also fast shines, but the downside is you can really only give up. You can give up 5 hiddens, and you can give up 1 of both Goldbirds or 4 from Noki, but you can't give up all 3 with this play. Alaeus is heading back to Pinna. So Alaeus is a shine up in Pinna, but a shine behind in the race to Noki. So this has become very interesting because Pinify from the back coverless or Ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds are tradable goals. Now you can, in theory, set up for both and sort of ride your Yoshi in Pinna, and then ride your and then do Pinify from the back hoverless. Though we have seen players forget about the hoverless restriction for Pinify from the back hoverless and hover to get on the Yoshi in Pinify.
Yeah. Interestingly, Game's still picking up some blues.
I think it's just getting to. I think it's getting to 30 here. It will aid in 13 shines. You kind of need a fairly decent amount of blues for that to make sense. So I can understand the reasoning.
Yeah, that's all very fair. Yeah, I'm curious whether what we'll see Alaeus do here with the Yoshis. If this is going to be ride Yoshis into Pinna 5 or something else. But Game can trade into Noki, but is probably going to grab Yoshi first.
You've committed this much to Pinna, you kind of have to. And your hope is you're reading into what Alaeus is going to do. So Alaeus is going back in. We'll keep your eyes on their feed. See if she exits area immediately after touching Yoshi, or if she makes a play just for hoverless right away. She's going for Yoshi.
And no hover.
No hover so far. Stand on that spray nozzle. Looking for the fruit. Finally finds the pineapple.
I don't know if people remember where the fruits are. So
I want to say Alaeus was planning on doing was thinking EYG, and then was like, wait, I don't need to do EYG. I'm trying to do Pinify from the back hoverless. So this is big because Game's Pinna 4 is also not super good. So it's burned a fair amount of time.
Could win Ride Yoshi, but
yeah. Well, no, because remember, Alaeus also the cutscene at the top is long. It is long. So if Game commits for Ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds, this Gambit plays off.
Yeah, especially with... Yeah, and Game is, I think, committing with the Save War. This is the faster way to ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds, especially if you're returning.
Yeah, and this is really advantageous because if Game can just exit area. Wait, no, let's just going this way.
With these struggles, Game can still win Pinna 5.
Game needs to commit for Yoshi in 2 Worlds right away if this is the play. There's save.
Yeah.
As one does. Not even opening Serena.
Reason on this card. But going for Lily Pad, not
Huh.
Interesting.
Interesting. I'm a little baffled by this. Oh, no. Is this to just be faster in killing the Goldbird?
It is.
Oh, that's so good.
Wow.
I'm not the hugest fan of this, but that's pretty big brain.
You know, I've never seen that before, but the Goldbird, like all birds, can be a troll. So I appreciate it.
And so the big downside here is like Alaeus could have had both of these goals, but is still struggling here in the back of Pinna 5.
Yeah, I really wonder if Game is going to ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds now.
No, because I think the Noki goals are too important.
Yeah,
I think what Game is doing is Game is setting up for this. Like Game is essentially seeding Ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds and Pinna 5 from the back, and is trying to just have the safety net of Delfino Rocket available to him, because that gives him sort of a 14th goal. Now, still narrow. Still needs to get 5 hiddens, still needs to get sort of everything else that we've identified already that's on Games' game plan.
Yeah, I'm still curious if after this, Game is going to go and try and ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds and could still... Oh, and Alaeus takes a death.
Yeah, from fall damage.
Oh,
so
wow.
I think, okay, so for Alaeus, this... Will Alaeus go and ride Yoshi in 2 Worlds?
Yes.
I think that's what... I think it's a good mental... First of all, good mental reset. Second of all, secures that goal that you know that you're not racing for either of those now, and you can... Game may have, like, really lucked out in terms of just how much of a struggle that was. Assuming Alaeus is now not going to go back for Pinna 5 from the back, because Alaeus is entering for Serena.
What?
Are we missing something? I think just to reset Plaza? I would have just traded, I think, is the right call. If you just wanted to reset Plaza. That might have been like a muscle memory from her. I think that's exactly what she thought.
Yeah. Now trading. Game is going for Pinna 5 from the back. So I assume this is Pinna 5 from the back.
This is Game has been pulling Alaeus' chain this whole match, it feels, especially in this back half here, because Game has been the sequencing of Game's clicks. Alaeus has been responding to, but then Game is going and doing something else, right? So, for instance, in this case, right, the click from of both Goldbirds, I think, has scared Alaeus off of potentially contesting Noki, because obviously you're behind now. The fastest shine's already been done. And now Alaeus is committing to Delfinos. But Alaeus is sort of already ahead to Delfinos. But Game has also made progress to Delfinos. But now Game is taking that as an opportunity to head back to Pinna and go secure Pinna 5 from the back hoverless, because Pinna 5 from the back hoverless hasn't been clicked by Alaeus. So they've just sort of been dancing around each other.
And with Alaeus was still ahead on Delfinos. Just by virtue of Blues, Alaeus had as many Delfinos, I think, as Game had.
Yeah.
It'll be one fewer. So, 13 Delfinos with the blues Alaeus has gotten pretty safe Alaeus goal. I think Game was just getting fast Delfinos to win Tanoki and wasn't interested in 13 Delfinos.
That's a safe bet, I think. And so Game is going to click away Delfino 5 from the back hoverless, which it would have been cheeky to delay it and get back in the Noki, but I agree it's sort of like a very hard thing to delay, especially with Ride Yoshi 2 Worlds being clicked.
Yeah, and the win con here, I think, is probably 4 Noki Shines and, Delfino Rocket.
Yeah, I think that's Game's win con. 5 hiddens is a little tough to get or to fully secure. No, now Game is going for Delfinos.
If it's a race, Game's gonna lose it, but
no, Alaeus is right now is going for 5 hiddens and getting some blues and Bianco.
Yeah. The thing is, Game only has 30 blues, so 13 Delfinos is a slow goal when you have to get 10 physical Delfino shines. You're going to have to do one of the slow. Or 2 of them. Whether it's a grass pipe, a shine gate, lighthouse. I guess lighthouse rocket is viable.
Yeah,
here.
That's a win con. Just try to push for rocket. You'll get turbo cop, right? Because you'll have to unlock turbo to get rocket anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That is going to help Game here with beating up some of the slower Delfinos.
And I think the end result here is Game sort of was able to sort of navigate a very tight win con and like play to multiple strengths, and Alaeus sort of had some the gameplay errors in the back of Pinna 5 really set her behind. I think is sort of the story here is if Alaeus was able to finish out that particular goal, then I think Game would be in a much tougher spot. But because Game was able to sort of have all that time and all that space to grab, to get advantage in Noki and to push towards and get Pinna 5 from the back hoverless, like I think that ends up being very good for Game and sort of put Alaeus further behind.
Yeah. In Game having the lead also just made it so Alaeus already was in the position of having to react. And, there are a couple choices here that Game made. Like, Pinna 5 from the back could have been really costly because Alaeus could have been delaying it. But Alaeus wasn't.
And Alaeus just now has too much slow stuff to do. And needs to be sort of contesting whatever Game is doing right now, and that's just not doable. I don't think there's just too much to do and too many options for Game, and Game sort of has essentially with the goals that Game has clicked, Game is pointing out like, hey, I'm ahead to so these many goals. Pick which one you think I'm going for right now, or at least I have progress towards all of these goals. Pick which one you think I'm going for, and if you can get it, good. And if you can't, you lose.
Yeah. All right.
Gamestabled is taking the back streets in Turbo Cop, making his way towards that 13 from Delfino WinCon. And a necessary step will put him 4 shines away from Delfino Rocket Nozzle. And again, has that 4 from Noki. And that might be what Game may actually be thinking of here, is go back to Noki, get 3 more shines, trade, right? Like, Game's got options.
That would be a very split play. I think Danny would approve of. But I think Game is just hard focused on 13 Delfinos and Rocket.
Those are fast shines too. Not a bad thing to choose to go for. Wants to get those last two blues though. Before doing so.
Miss the bird.
Yeah, still has second box game to do, so we'll have another shot at it. And Alaeus is going to get the second hidden Enrico and the 6th Rico shine overall. Should set herself up well for 5 hidden shines.
I think that'll be 5.
Yeah, I'd believe it, yeah.
With 2 in Gelato and Bianco 3 off.
Yep, that'll be 5. So that'll be 2 clicks. Put Alaeus at 9 goals. Game just got the 30th blue.
And with Delfino Rocket, gonna make the remaining ones pretty... Raining Delfino's pretty easy to get. Yeah, at this point, Alaeus is too far behind to Delfino.
Yeah, to contest any number of goals here. And I think Game is going to secure the rocket nozzle. Needs to trade anyway. Get him closer to that 13 from Delfino. And has essentially his choice of 4 from Noki or 13 from Delfino to close out the game. And I don't think that there's... The way that this goes Alaeus' way is like Alaeus needs to somehow... I think Alaeus is now behind to 13 from Delfino. And, you know, even with the blues that she's gathered. And I think it's just a little too tight to pull off sort of getting both that and Noki. Because you kind of need to, like, pop into Noki, get the gold bird, or at least get a shine done so you're on somewhat equal footing, and then win the 13 from Delfino, but then like also be in Noki when you click it so you're able to delay it, so you're able to have like a leg up in Noki, and then you need to execute Noki well in order to be able to pull that off, which, you know, we'll be honest, we haven't really seen from her just yet. You know, just from, I'm sure the nerves are high. I'm sure the you know, the gameplay has sort of been rough on both sides, but it would require you to have like perfect gameplay essentially for that to work out. Delfino Rocket clicked away.
Lighthouse now. So yeah,
and that would got to put Game very close, if not 1 shine away.
Yeah, maybe 2 away. Yeah, I mean, Game had a little trouble with that Shadow Mario, but the Rocket and Turbo Shadow Mario are not ones that speedrunners do particularly often. I don't know if there are good quick kills for them.
Anything's a quick kill if you try hard enough and believe in yourself.
Would you say
Alaeus
the
is trying to do the turbo jump here. Gets it. Yeah, with Rocket now, Game can sort of do some of the slower.
Apparently,
Game,
that was already...
Come on.
This is now BMing.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a BM play.
Going
with respect to our fallen comrade, it might be in response to the removal of the sunglasses goal from the card.
That is fair.
And according to Falcon Hit, 13 Delfinos has already been achieved for Game. But going for the style points here. Number 14, he's looking like a rock star. He's got his game on. and he has come and played. The victory in the match goes to gamestabled 13-9 over Alaeus. GG.
See if they want to come in for an interview. Last, yeah.
Hello, Alaeus. GG's. See if game gets in here.
GG's last. And GG game.
GG.
Let's turn back the clock, both of you, and talk about those drafts because it was some interesting draft mind games, I think, from both of you. Let's start with you, Alaeus. What were you seeing in the draft, and how did you respond to games clicks?
Half of it was pure gamesmanship, like the 9 pipes. Simply to try to bluff away. I think Game had a fairly solid plan in that, but obviously didn't know that at the start of the draft. And the 6 Rico shines were a bit of a toss-up for me. I was still undecided whether I would do Rico or Gelato. So full commit to Rico to get Rico 8 from 1, and try to counter Pianta or Gelato. I thought Gelato was the safer play, and I thought I'm not gonna risk my first match back, where I'm still rusty and all that. And it showed later. I presume you have questions about that as well. So yeah, the rest of the draft I thought was fairly okay. Bianco was just to remove the synergy from Game. Game decided not to go for Bianco. In hindsight, I should have gone Bianco 4 Overless as well. I should have done that, or at least get Bianco 4. What else? I don't think there's much to it in Gelato. Fairly self-explanatory with a lot of blues value that I did not get in my first visit. And yeah, 17Ms thought would work with both Rico and Gelato, even if I just do Alpha of Rico as I did. So, and Bianco. So yeah, that was the idea.
Yeah. Seems reasonable. Game, we saw that you had drafted 5 Bluebirds, 7 linked pairs, and you ended up not going for it. Tell us about that draft. Like, were you ever intending on going for those goals? And if you were, what made you change away from that game plan?
So yes, I was planning on it. It was just I felt really rusty with my routing. Like I should have gotten both birds and links. And I kind of ran out of time because I died so much in Pianta. Like 5 birds was I felt was especially dumb because I ran past the bird in Pianta 8 and just didn't even think to get it.
Yeah, we were both sort of commenting on that in the commentary booth. Was sort of like you were in there to finish it out. Why weren't you grabbing it?
I had a lot of like routing things. I forgot to get the 9th NPC. I just forgot that goal changed. So then later I was like, well, shit, or shoot, I'm right by Bianco. I might as well just grab one in here, get the rocket to use the time to think or something. But I realized after the draft period how strong Pianta was. And I realized if I just sweep Pianta, then like I can probably trade Pinna stuff and then just get random stuff to finish the game. And that's pretty much what happened.
And we were remarking this felt very much like a 3.0 or 3.1 card with how strong Pianta and Rico were on this card.
I think I said this would be a good JJ full Pianta IW card.
Yeah. I wanted to touch again on 5 Bluebirds, 7 Links because I felt like they were very pivotal goals, but not in the typical way. Like when we think about a pivotal goal on a card like this, typically it's the goal that the whoever gets it ends up sort of being ahead in the match. But Alaeus, you ended up getting both of those goals, but like you mentioned, it sort of took multiple trips to be able to reap that value. Were you showing a lot of deference to Game on those, or were you not expecting those goals to go all the way to 30 minutes and be unclicked?
Seven linked, not really. I thought either. I mean, game was clearly going for Pianta the moment 4 Piantas was clicked. Therefore, I thought at that point 7 linked is not a priority, at least not in the classical sense. 5 bluebirds. I was stupid in that I did not get at least one bird in Gelato Hidden that I should have, even though when I arrived, I had a pretty bad go at it the first time, so I just thought, well, whatever. But I probably should have got at least one bird there. But more than deference, I'm gonna be honest, it was just me being pretty rusty, even at routing. So, say I went gelato twice, should have been only one go, linked and one bird there, done. No need to go back there. But I didn't, obviously. I wasn't really afraid of the time, actually, on most things. But yeah, it showed that I haven't played Bingo in ages. I haven't played Sunshine in ages. It was just not particularly good. But hey, I've signed up for fun mostly, so I'm not really pissed. That's I guess a good thing.
Well, and the rest will come off after a match or two.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, not having not feeling necessarily the pressure to practice that much or think, oh, I want to win every match is much better. I much prefer this because even though I was a bit sad with myself or whatever, pin a 5 from the back coverless because come on,
Yeah.
that was really really silly. But that aside, yeah, I don't think I played that bad. Even ironically, my gameplay wasn't that bad, which I thought was going to be the worst part, and my routing was just subpar for me at least. So that's a bit of a change from my standard.
Yeah, that seems pretty fair for me. Any final thoughts from either of you?
I threw pretty hard. But what game? What do they mean when they say you died a lot? When you said you died a lot in Pianta, what happened?
I fell off the tree at the end of the Piantissimo race. I died 2 or 3 times in the secret. I don't remember. I just kept getting thrown off the edge. um, I think that was it. It was just those 3 deaths, but all 3 of them were really bad.
Okay. Yeah, I had some trouble as well, but I think it was to be expected, considering we both mentioned that we've been fairly rusty. So yeah, I've had some deaths in Gelato, in the secret that were really silly. And then I couldn't get from back overless. I was there for 3 minutes trying and actually died from fall damage. I thought about forfeiting there, but then I remember about certain forfeits when the game was basically about to flip. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna try. Never give up. But that was really silly. So I don't think there's any need to dwell on it more than necessary. But I didn't really expect that strat to be that problematic. I need to practice it. Come on. But
Yeah,
lesson learned.
it was unfortunate because it felt like at that particular point in the match, Game's win con was pretty narrow. Like Game had sort of like a 13 goal win con, and had you gotten Pinify from the back coverless, you probably would have also gotten Yoshi in Two Worlds, and
I
I
did
think
get Yoshi
it
too.
would have been a little narrower.
Yeah.
For Game to be able to sort of come in and open up more possibilities.
I did feel like Pianta was good, but also you needed to be very careful because if you end up losing 1 or 2 goals, then your window is very close. So it's very narrow, and if it closes, well, it closes, right? So that's why I went for a more varied route, a bit more flexible. And I'm not sure if I would have won the game still because looking at the goals there, game still had Noki here. But hey, if you add pin a 5 and you add maybe, well, 3 minutes less of time wasted, practically, I might have gotten something else like the Goldberg shines, and then, well, it goes from there. But if it does not win a game, so yeah. That's about it for me.
Happy to be playing again.
Yeah, it's
I'm over
great
the
to
rest
be.
of the
It's great to
season.
see both of you still in the league. It's great to have you back, Alaeus. And it was a lot of fun watching the match. It was a good time, even if it probably didn't feel like it in the moment.
Actually, as I said, it felt fairly okay. It's obviously I would have loved to play better, and I think Game you also would have loved to play better from what I'm hearing. But yeah, I don't think it was playing for fun is a lot better than just trying to win all the time. Honestly, 100%. Why didn't I do this first when I joined initially?
Yeah, I don't feel too bad. I feel like there are routing flubs that I wouldn't have made later in the season, but I just like forgot some details.
Yeah. Well, you got plenty more weeks of play to make up for it and many more matches, but no more today. That'll be it for bingo action in the Super Mario Sunshine 1v1 Lockout Bingo League. However, if you're here for more Sunshine action, we've got more coming your way. The Any Percent Weekly Race is kicking off in just over 30 minutes over on Sunshine Community. We'll be live over there with all of the coverage of the weekly race. So be sure to stick around. More Super Mario Sunshine action coming your way. But that'll be it for bingo. Golden Devil, thanks for being in the booth with me. GG's to you, Alaeus, and congrats to you, Game, on your first victory here in the Bingo League.
Thanks.
Thanks. Goodbye.
And we'll see you all soon.